Well, there's a popular saying in the city of lakes, "Talo mein tal, Bhopal ka tal, baki sab talaiya." Well, if you're talking about a lake, it has to be this big. And this is the city of Raja Bhoj. In fact, it was called Bhojpal, and eventually it became Bhopal. A gorgeous city, lovely people, great food, but we're not here for a travel show. We're here to drive the all-new Kia Sonet. Now, I'll tell you all about the car in a bit, but we're going to take it on-road, off-road, on the highway, all across, cruising on these roads, and tell you a little bit about how it's tech-loaded, how the design is improved, and more importantly, why there's a focus on safety with the new Kia Sonet. Let's begin. The new Kia Sonet. Very interesting insights to share about this car. And of course, we're enjoying the lovely weather here in Bhopal, but we're also enjoying the drive with this new Sonet. Now, they talk about a very bold and futuristic design. Look, Kia is getting EVs right around the world. We're waiting for the EV9 here in India. But this particular car, from a distance, if you're not very well versed with sizes, looks like a Seltos. Looks like a Sonet. Well, I've been very confused with the previous rendition. With this one, it is a very bold and imposing stance right here. The one that we're driving is the X line, which I think will be perhaps the most popular one. And you can see the single color here with the bumper. And of course, this really, really muscular grille. You walk around, this is placed on 16-inch alloy wheels. I think there's a bunch of wheel options that you get on the GT line and the Tech line. What's really strange though is, and as a tech geek I have to say this, they've got a Tech line which doesn't have half of the tech features that these two have. So maybe the nomenclature could have been a little different, but it's an interesting, design for the car. Fairly decent in terms of ground clearance as well. Let me show you the back, and I think that's where a lot of things have changed. Well, Kia says that this is industry-leading boot space. I think nearly 380 liters. It's fairly decent if you want to get most of our shoot stuff here in the car. But the real magic happens now in the rear seat as well. Well, I say back seat because a lot of people complain that the previous Sonet wasn't the most comfortable car to sit in, especially if you're being driven around. What they've done is they've given you a little bit more rear seat thigh support. At nearly 6 feet tall. But what I find really cool is, given what's happening in Mumbai and Delhi, especially with AQI levels, check this out. A smart air purifier, which they claim gives you bacteria and virus protection, it's telling you what the AQI is like in the car. You can obviously change the modes, make sure that the display isn't that much in your face. But if this works with its filters, even half as well as it's being advertised, this can be a game changer. But what I want to do now is take this for a nice drive, perhaps a little on-road, a little off-road, and then tell you a little bit more about our experience with the new tech-loaded Kia Sonet. They've given you this 10.25-inch screen and a cluster over here, which gets the job done. No wireless Android Auto or CarPlay, but if you do connect it with a wire, it almost reads instantaneously. Apple CarPlay is on. We have our playlist, we have everything showing up over here. And then, of course, you have voice recognition, a bunch of commands, which we'll show you when we're driving on the highway as well. And fairly intuitive, smooth. It's not very fancy, let me be honest. It's not like what the Germans are doing, but it gets the job done. It's got this neon-like look with its lighting, which also works in sync with the ambient lighting in the car, which sort of gets this whole disco sort of effect. If you have to party, you have a Bose surround sound system in this car. This is the X line Kia Sonet. So it's really an entire automobile which is geared towards millennials, but they're getting a little old, all of us, more towards Gen Z with all of these entertainment features as well. Here we are in the middle of Madhya Pradesh driving the Sonet. And what better place to test this car out? Different topographies, geographies, very, very interesting set of people that we meet along the way. A very nice, well-mannered sort of Bhopali conversation every time. They see this car, they ask a bunch of questions, and then they say thank you, and then apologize for really interjecting and asking those questions. It's a very, very interesting place to be. And the more you drive into Madhya Pradesh, on the way to Ujjain, Indore, there's a bunch of sanctuaries here as well. So we've been in the city, then on the highway, then we'll be going further into the forest. So it's a fitting place to test the new Kia Sonet. But what I find reassuring is that as a tech geek, there's a bunch of tech features which have made my life easy. And in this price bracket, this is honestly a mass market premium vehicle. Why do I say that? This is their budget offering, so to speak, right? Very popular all across the metro cities and all over India. But what I find fascinating is that in this car comes ADAS level 1, lane keep assist. You know, when you're taking, well, a right turn or a left turn, the digital camera, rear view camera gets activated immediately. Kia Connect with AI features works like a charm. You get your drive score, you have a 360 camera telling you everything you need to know. It's been a pleasure driving, very reassuring in terms of safety features. A big focus on safety, 6 airbags standard across the Kia Sonet line, be it the X line, the Tech line, the GT line. That's really important when you're building a brand around trust, safety and innovation. Well, we're living in an age of ChatGPT, Alexa and Siri, and honestly, most cars come with that functionality. But the Kia Sonet at this price point, 8 to 15 lakh rupees or something like that, is giving you voice commands, and they're quite good fun. For instance, sunroof khol do. There you go. It understands English commands, it understands commands in English and Hindi as well, but it's getting a little hot now, even though we're here in the winters. Close the sunroof. And just like us, in the tech team, effortlessly bilingual. That's not all. मुझे गर्मी लग रही है.
Setting the temperature to 18 degrees Celsius.
Now that's no mean feat. Okay, speaking about the rugged outdoors, I'm here with my Apple Watch Ultra, but it's a little cold for a workout. That said, either the sunroof in the Sonet is big enough, though it doesn't seem so because it opens only halfway, of course, or I have lost a few kilos shooting here in Madhya Pradesh. Clearly, we're not getting enough food, but we are enjoying the sights and sounds. I'm just hoping that when this does go for its safety ratings, and especially with what's happening with Bharat NCAP now, if this can get a 4-star or a 5-star rating, it'll probably be the most popular car on Indian roads if that goes through. Because everything else works for this car. It's got tech, it's got the right sort of engineering, design, comfort in a small, nifty package. The Kia Sonet here on Tech Today.